History's greatest disappearances. What if an entire city with thousands of people literally vanished overnight? And what if one of history's most famous queens was buried in a tomb so secret it's been hidden for over 2,000 years? These aren't just stories. They're two of the most insane disappearances in all of history. And the clues they left behind are finally showing us what really happened. For centuries, everyone thought these were just myths. A city swallowed by the sea, a queen's tomb lost forever. But archaeologists are now solving these ancient puzzles, and what they're finding is turning legends into reality. Today, we're looking at the final moments of a legendary lost city and joining the hunt for the world's most wanted tomb. First up is the lost city of Helike. In the winter of 373 BC, this ancient Greek city was an absolute powerhouse. It was the leader of a huge league of cities, a crazy rich cultural center, and was famous for its giant temple to Poseidon, the god of the sea and earthquakes. This city was so important it even had its own custom coins with Poseidon's face on them. Then, in a single night, it was gone. Ancient writers described a scene of pure terror. The ground shook like crazy, and then a gigantic tsunami exploded from the gulf, swallowing the entire city. Every single person died, and they say 10 warships parked in the harbor were dragged to the bottom with it. It was so complete that a 2,000-man rescue party couldn't find a single body. For centuries, people said the god Poseidon himself got angry and destroyed it. Roman tourists would literally sail over the spot and look down through the water to see the tops of buildings. But over time, mud buried everything, and the city's location was completely lost. For thousands of years, people assumed Helike was just a myth, maybe even the inspiration for Atlantis. But archaeologists never gave up. In 1988, they launched the Helike project based on a brand new idea. Old texts said the city sank into a poros. Everyone assumed poros meant the ocean, but this team wondered what if it meant an inland lagoon. After years of searching, they found it in 2001, not in the deep sea, but buried under tons of dirt near a small village. What they've dug up since then is a city way more insane than the legend. They found a destruction layer from 373 BC, full of rubble, tiles, and pottery that proved the earthquake happened. They've also found an even older Bronze Age city, a temple, an incredible treasure like gold jewelry and bronze statues. The craziest part? This area was hit by massive disasters over and over again. But every time, the survivors just rebuilt nearby, making their buildings even stronger. The disappearance of Helike wasn't just one disaster. It was one chapter in an unbelievable story of survival. A lost city is incredible, but it's nothing compared to a missing person, especially when that person is Queen Cleopatra. In 30 BC, after she and her lover Mark Antony were crushed in a war by the Roman leader Octavian, they made their last stand. The story is wild. Antony heard a fake rumor that Cleopatra was dead, so he literally fell on his own sword. He was carried to her tomb and died in her arms. Cleopatra, refusing to be humiliated and dragged through Rome as a trophy, planned her own death. The historian Plutarch wrote that her last message to Octavian had one request: to be buried with Antony. When the guards burst in, they found her dead on her throne, looking like a queen. Even though he was robbed of his victory prize, the ancient writers all agree Octavian honored her wish, burying her and Antony together in a spectacular tomb. The only question is, where is it? For over 2,000 years, nobody has had a clue. For a long time, the search was focused on the ancient city of Alexandria, but most of the royal part of the city is now underwater because of earthquakes. It's an almost impossible place to search. But one archaeologist, Kathleen Martinez, has spent nearly 2 decades chasing a completely different theory. She believes Cleopatra planned her own secret burial at a temple called Taposiris Magna, about 30 miles away. Cleopatra identified herself with the goddess Isis, and this temple was for Isis's husband Osiris, the god of the dead. Martinez says it was the perfect symbolic place for her and Antony to be hidden forever. For years, everyone was skeptical, but then her team started finding things. First, they found coins with Cleopatra's actual face on them. Then they found a massive cemetery with mummies buried in her exact time period. In 2022, they uncovered something unbelievable: a 4,300-foot-long tunnel carved under the temple, which a top engineer called a geometric miracle. Recent underwater scans show that parts of this temple fell into the sea from earthquakes. Martinez now thinks Cleopatra's tomb is hidden in the parts of the temple that haven't been excavated yet. From a city that refused to stay lost to a queen who might have engineered her own epic disappearance, history is full of puzzles that completely change what we think we know. Helike has been found, but its full story is still being uncovered. And with these insane new discoveries, the hunt for Cleopatra's tomb is more intense than it's ever been. So what's your theory? Do you think Cleopatra's tomb is just waiting to be opened at Taposiris Magna? Let us know what you think in the comments. For more journeys into history's greatest mysteries, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out.
What do you think was the most important lesson from the event? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thought. For more epic war history, don't forget to subscribe today.